Before we get into this episode, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. You can hit the notification button so you can get updated weekly on all of our latest content. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, tell us what you want to see next below. The butt whisperer.
Okay.
The whisperer
Yes.
is on the show today.
What an
She
introduction.
is changing lives
Changing lives.
and butts everywhere. Let me tell you,
One butt at a time.
this woman knows everything that there is to know about butts, glutes, the shelf that I just learned about. I'm learning all different things about the butthole, which
Yes.
we're going to get into.
Yeah.
If you
The
guys
butthole's
want
very
to know
important.
how to sculpt your... Listen up. Sandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so just a little backstory.
This is my legacy, by the way. Buttholes in shelves. But go ahead.
Funny enough, it's maybe my legacy as well.
I know.
It's,
And
you know,
I mean, at least it's fun.
I was telling somebody the other day, Sandy, I was like, well, I'm training with Sandy. And
Yeah.
she has me looking at male rugby players. So like if you look at my history, there's like, you like pulled up like male rugby.
Yes, that's exactly
And
what
it's
I
a
want.
little bit awkward because I've never found myself, but I'm
Yeah.
trying to understand what you're trying to
Yes,
build there.
Yes.
So my search history is very questionable.
Well, this is very good. So can we talk about males and glutes first?
Yeah, Michael's going to pour you a shot of
yeah,
Estral
I'm gonna
tequila.
drink
okay,
tequila.
okay.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is my new favorite.
Okay.
But do you want the Añejo or the Blanco?
I don't know the difference.
What?
You're wasting that question on me.
Explain it, Michael.
Well,
Like,
this one's going to be...
Which one's better? I
one's
want whatever
dark
the
and
better
one's
one
Well,
is.
listen, I would say that's a hard thing. You'll have
Okay.
people, you'll
Yeah.
split the audience. I think it depends what you're doing. Some people really like the Blanco, some Añejo. I think
Okay.
for our purposes, we'll go with the Happy Birthday Michael
I
bottle.
think that
Just
I
because
mean-
it's a little bit of a flex to say you have like
it's
an
really a
engraved-
flex. Actually,
Yeah.
never had a birthday wish on a tequila bottle for
It's
me.
a bit of a flex, huh? Like to have like
Yeah.
an engraved Happy
I mean,
Birthday
how long
Estral
ago was
bottle.
your birthday?
March.
Okay.
So
Well, we should
Yeah.
open it.
Open
This
it,
is
Michael.
insane.
Okay, so
And
Michael's
then
going to pour.
Lauren's gonna sniff it.
I'm going to sniff it. Oh, so
So you're
sad.
gonna sniff the cap.
So sad. While he's pouring the
Yes.
tequila,
Okay.
just to give context, I obviously work out with Brent. He's my trainer. He's been on the
Yes.
show before.
Love Brent.
And I started specialty training with Sandy on top of Brent, and we're focused very much on the ass. I
Mhm.
also am doing classical Pilates. So that's kind of my workout gamut for the week right now. And I figured that I would have Sandy on because not only is she so funny, she just
So
knows
funny.
everything about the butt. And
Yeah.
it's been so interesting to learn.
Yeah. Well, do we want to take this shot before I start talking
well,
about
I
the
poured
butt
like
or
more
no?
of a sipping. We could shoot it. Be a big shot.
Okay.
Okay, Sandy, this one's for
Okay.
you.
Here you go, Emily.
Emily, Carson. Emily, I'm going to give you Carson's. Lauren, I would give you one, but you are.
I know.
It smells good. Here you go. You
okay.
walked
Don't worry,
in.
you can walk in the shot. It's okay.
Well,
We keep it pretty informal here.
All right.
okay.
Cheers.
Toast.
But I don't think you want
To-
to. It's a pretty big
To
shot.
Michael's
I
new
would just
ass.
maybe sip it. But
Oh,
if you
is that
want
what
to,
we're
if you
doing?
want to shoot it, you
What
can shoot it.
is this? Where are y'all from? You don't know how to do shots?
No,
without-
I do shots.
Shoot the shot, Michael's.
But it's a big shot.
All right, we're gonna do a half a shot. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
To glutes
You know what, I'll
and
probably just do
5
the whole
pounds
thing.
of mass on your ass. Okay.
To be honest, I ended up doing the whole
That
thing.
was a small. I only did
I
a
did
half
the-
one, but we're
I did the
fine.
whole thing, and I didn't make a big face.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so you know I'm a man, Carson.
Sandy,
Oh God.
there's so much to get into with this.
Yes.
Let's start with what is the number one thing you see across the board that people do not know about the ass?
Well, I think it starts like to peel it back like a few layers. It starts with people don't understand the importance of your glutes. I mean, I think that, yeah, we think that they look good in tights. They are like aesthetically great. But what I think that people don't understand is how important they are for your back health, your center of gravity, where that sits, your knee health, and all. There's so many things that stem from having weak glutes that people, I think, honestly, sometimes people don't think about them because they can't see them. So what you can't see, you know, the front muscles everybody can see. So you can flex your bicep. It looks great. But like literally you can't see your butt. So I think half the time people forget about their glute muscles and then we sit and then they turn off. And then we have all these problems that stem around from having glute muscles that don't turn on anymore. Even if you have glutes that are looking okay, if you're not creating, like, if you're not activating them and doing mind muscle connection with them, then you are going to lose them at some point, and then you're going to go to a PT or a chiropractor or a doctor and say, I hurt my back. You know what I'm saying?
I said something on the show one time, but I couldn't articulate because I don't have the expertise that you do. And I was saying, like, you likely don't, like the reason so many people have back pain is likely because they don't have glute muscles.
Yes.
And people are like, oh no, I just have back pain. I'm like, no, you're probably, what you're just saying is happening.
Well, the glute medius sits right here, and it is very important for your back. And if it is weak, it is one of the things that I think that half the population goes to the doctor because they hurt their back and their glute medius is probably weak. So what happens is in a fitness environment, they're sent to a physical therapist, right? So a physical therapist, now you have a bad back, and what a physical therapist does, they have to rehab and make your glute medius stronger, right? Because you have a bad back. So now it's on the physical therapy side. But the way that I see it done and the way that I train everybody is that we start to combine those physical therapy sort of treatments. I'm not a physical therapist at all, and I do defer to them very often. But we do some of their methods of strengthening stuff through like correctives, and I have you do couch stretch and things like this and mind muscle connection with strength training. And those two things together will really make your glutes strong. And then now you have the center of your mass is your glutes. What's happening now is that you'll see a lot of people, they sit all day, their glutes turn off, their backs turn off, their glutes turn off. I sent something to you that said, yeah, thank you. Yeah. And we talked about that, Lauren. Instead, don't shrug, but come down, right? Sit in your posterior chain, which is your back, and then your glutes. But what I was saying, I said, I thought this was funny, but can we say bad words on this show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You've met us before.
Okay. So
you know us.
For glutes, okay. So if we're talking, why are glutes so important and what is inhibiting them so much? I was saying your hip flexors are like cock blocking your glutes. Okay. So if I'm sitting like this, these are hip flexors and they're not anatomically correct, and fitness community come for me, but I'm just saying this is for general population. There you have 5 hip flexors that run right here. We sit all day. These get tight and short. Once these get tight and short, guess what doesn't access anymore? Your glutes. When we sit like this all day, guess what gets tight and short? Your upper chest and your neck.
And for those that are listening,
yeah.
you can watch on YouTube to see what she's doing.
So you start to look old.
Well, yeah, your posterior chain your posterior chain's for go and your front is for the show. So you should be stronger in your posterior chain. When I say posterior chain, what I mean is basically glutes, hamstrings, lats, back. That's what your back of your body's supposed to look the best and hold you up and be your strongest. And then the front is all just at the leisure of the posterior chain. What's happening in our society now is everyone's sitting, they're shortening, they're tightening here, and your body loves you so much. This is what I love about the human body. And I think I've talked about this. It will say, God, Michael, that seems like a lot of work for you to activate those lats and those glutes. So we're just going to start letting them go away.
Yeah. I mean, in my case, because we train together.
Yeah.
Like I have to actively work to go back like
yes.
this and down.
Yes.
People listening, and I'm putting my
yes.
shoulders back.
Yes.
But then I was also, so for the reasons you're highlighting, but I was also reading this article the other day, and it says people that side sleep, it even compounds the effect because you're like on your side.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just
forward.
What? Okay, and I'm taking this, and I take a lot of different. That what you think's cool, Lauren, is, and I take a lot of different approaches from different places. So, if you take from the PT world, first thing they'll ask you is, how do you sit all day? Mm-hmm. What is your pattern constantly? Well, if it's side sleeping, that's how your body starts to mold into the pattern that you're sitting or sleeping in. Your body it loves you. So it's like, it seems like she wants to do this and shut off her bigger muscles. So you know what I mean? It's trying to save energy for your brain. So it'll let you go into like these compensatory positions just so that it doesn't take more energy away. So what we have to do is say, no, sir, and no, ma'am. We are going to be living with our glutes on and our back on. And we thank you for trying to let us do all these things. But through mobility and strength training, we're going to stand like we're supposed to as humans and sit.
There's so many things to get into with you. But one thing that you've told me that's so interesting is you said that dancers and strippers and girls that know how to twerk
yes.
have amazing asses.
Yes. Yeah.
And I want you to explain your theory to TikTok and the internet and the podcast.
Yes.
We have a big stripper community that listens to the show.
Hey,
we're
down.
taking pole classes.
Yes,
after.
We're gonna
don't worry, I won't take them pregnant, guys.
Okay.
We're taking pole classes.
We really are. I would love to. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the thing with hips. Okay, so again, when I was trying to figure out how to grow my glutes, I was a hard grower of my glutes, right? I did all the right things. I've been a strength coach for 20 years. I knew what I was doing, right? I just needed some push. And it was a physical therapist that gave me that push to say, Sandy, your body's 3D. And what's happening on the front of your body is affecting the back of your body. And what's happening on the back of your body is and I was like, whoa. And that was mind blowing to me. And a strength coach never told me that. It took a physical therapist to tell me that, right? So that, and then my light bulb went off and I was like, oh, and I did a check-in with my hips. And I was like, these hips are like, I can barely swivel them around like a stripper. I can barely move them up and down. I have no rotation. I'm tight. This can't be right. So then when I started to watch twerking videos, I started to watch stripper videos, salsa girls that know how to salsa. Everyone wonders why Latinas have such a good ass. One of the reasons is because their hips are open. Their hips are on a swivel. If you watch girls that can twerk, what they have is a lot of access into their lumbar spine and the ability to move it very fluidly, right? And so their ability to sort of like move their back, everything else stays still, and then their ass pops up and down. So what I researched was all these different ways that these girls had good asses without even trying, without strength training. Show me how you have a good ass without strength training. And that's like, and then we add strength training on top of that. Now we're in business. So that's what I did. I researched, I looked at what I try to express is that, yes, I want everyone to have big glutes, but I want them to be athletic. And that's where the rugby that you said came in, where had you looking, because what I want is women and men. If you look at a dancer's ass, it's very athletic because she has to use all the muscles in her ass to control her hip bones. Your glutes are attached to your hip bones, right? So once your hips get moving and around through correctives, mobility, activations, dance class. I love a dance class. Just for that reason, your glutes start to come back on. They start.
So outside of, doing the things we know are bad for us, like sitting for long periods of time, not being active, what are people doing wrong in the gym when it comes to building their lower body?
Yeah. That's a really good question. So it depends on, I'm going to cover it for women because I feel like they're very underserved, but it will also cover most men. So what's happening, and then we were talking about this, is something I'm calling the quad conspiracy. And I'm very serious about it because I'm a strength coach for 20 years. It's usually me and about 10 dudes standing around, right? Like my whole life, it's always been me and like 10 dudes standing around. And I love my male trainers. There's nothing about male trainers. But if you go back and you look in history, most of the strength coaches are based out of the bodybuilding world. Some of them, like you've got the power lifters and like all that stuff. Yeah, they are into the strength. But most of them aesthetically, if you come to a personal trainer and you want to look different aesthetically, a lot of the trainers, males, have the bigger quads, smaller glutes, big upper body, and then like a quad sweep, right? That's a good look. That's a bodybuilding competitor. And for males, that makes a lot of sense. They need to be big on their upper body. They want to have good quads, it's like, and they have good backs, but their glutes are usually smallish. So what happens is when women come to me and I want to grow my glutes, what I see, the first thing I watch is 10 air squats. I can tell what everybody's been doing through 10 air squats. Everybody that comes to me has to do 10 air squats as soon as I see them, first time or 20th time, it doesn't matter. But I need to know, I'll know exactly where you've been, how you've done it. I can tell. But the first thing I'll see is a lot of people using their quads to descend on something like a squat. When you descend and ascend with your quads, they're obviously going to get stronger. Is that right or wrong? Is it better to be glute dominant or is it better to be quad dominant? I'm going to argue that it's better to be glute dominant every time. They say that quads are maybe bigger than your glutes, or science says that. I don't say that. I want my glutes to be bigger than my quads, right? That doesn't mean like my quads are going to be smaller or anything. It just means that over time, people have been doing this quad dominant patterning.
So most people have bigger glutes than quads.
Bigger quads than glutes.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. And one of the reasons in the gym, because I was talking about mobility and stuff, but another reason is when they go into strength train, and sometimes the person that's looking at them doesn't know what they're looking at. They're training a muscle and making it bigger over and over and over when the client, especially women, wanted bigger glutes, not bigger quads. But they're saying, I'm working out. This doesn't make any sense. This guy's and this girl or whoever it is so they know what they're doing. But if you keep using a muscle over and over and over, it will get bigger. So the way that I coach is to get your hips open, to understand your feet. That's a whole nother story for people who understand about feet. But get your hips open and then start using your hips to lower and raise in all your movements in lower body. And that's glute dominant patterning is what I call it. And all it means is now that's your primary mover and you stop turning on your quad every time you go down and you go up.
And with me, when you had me working out with you, whenever you do, you have me doing mobility almost not half. I would say like a third of the time I'm stretching my hips.
Yes, absolutely.
This badunka-dunk right now is
oh
a
my
big
gosh.
ass.
I am so excited about that.
Yeah, well, we're preparing.
I know. Oh my God. Poor Lord. I always like in the mirror act like I'm cutting off your stomach. I'm like, just look at the ass.
She's like,
that poor baby.
Wait till you're not pregnant. Look at your ass.
Not that I want any hurting.
Yeah, but I was telling her that it's probably good that she's been training like this while she's pregnant, because when she's done, she's gonna have like a really strong foundation.
Absolutely. And that was a really good question, Lauren. Like, why would I know, because a lot of trainers, they get you in raw, let's go, this, go to this and go to that and go to this and go to that. And a lot of people are just moving through the movements, but they're not attaining their goals, right? So for someone like you, I've got to pull you back 5 steps, right? And say, everything now is about your patterning and mind-muscle connection. So if you want to be a glute dominant athlete, what I'm going to have to do is start to mobilize the areas that are tight, and you're going to have to start connecting and loading and understanding where your glutes are as opposed to your quad. And then once we have that talk, you too, Michael, once we have that talk, then a lot of it is now up to you in the workouts. When I say to you, Lauren, are you using your quad or your glute? No one ever asked you that question before, right?
No.
It's an interesting question.
It's an interesting question.
Yes. And so now you have to think in your brain and go, oh God, shit. Now I got to think about, and now you're making a mind muscle connection.
You also will be like, the way she preps me is she'll be like, okay, butthole.
Oh yeah, butthole.
Flashlight.
Okay.
Pretend like your butthole is a flashlight to the ceiling.
Yes.
So when I go down, I'm pretending like
we're not.
Yeah, you can demonstrate. Everyone should go watch. Hold on, she's gonna demonstrate. Go watch the YouTube.
My feet are in this picture.
That's okay. Oh no, just show us. She's gonna show us butthole to the ceiling.
This is a very visual episode.
Carson, don't
it
get
really
excited.
is. I hope. Okay,
Carson, keep your eyes on the eye level, Carson. All right.
Okay, this is so important, Lauren. So very good question. So I've got you opening your hips on a swivel, accessing couch stretch. Couch stretch is the gateway to having good glutes, because remember, your hip flexors are cock blocking your glutes. So the next thing you have to understand is, why do you do all these hinges and these RDLs? All these girls are doing 1 million RDLs. I know y'all are. Where's that camera? Oh my God. Y'all are doing 1 million RDLs, and you're basically doing hamstring stretches. That's all you're doing, is you keep stretching your hamstring over and over. An RDL is a Romanian deadlift. Why would a Romanian want to do this, right? They don't need stretched hamstrings so much as they need strong glutes and hamstrings. So what I teach is a way where your butthole matters. So everyone think about where your butthole is. Like, I'm serious. Like, y'all are doing that toilet paper, right? Like, think about where your butthole is. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I try to say booty button, but that was so dumb.
I might need another shot of tequila here soon.
I know. I'm still drinking mine. I'm so sorry. But y'all will appreciate this. So a lot of times, and you'll hear men, because I watch, I very old school. I watch very old school strength trainers, right? Very old school. Like, I'm basically like a 65-year-old man with a cigarette, but like with hair extensions and shit now. It's very strange. So if you watch old ones, they want most of the tension in your glutes and not to go in your hamstrings. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay. So if your butthole sits right here, okay, you have to think about not just an RDL. Let's say I have 2 dumbbells.
Can you hear her still?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Or can I go? I can go up. Okay. This is life changing. Okay. So if I am, let's say I'm doing,
We've never had someone in the studio put their butthole in the air live during the show, but there's a first for everything.
Okay. All right. You see where y'all can't see, but there's a black ceiling that meets a white tile.
Don't give away our studio.
I can
here.
narrate too. So go
Okay.
on. You have to watch this on YouTube, you guys. Okay, go.
So now I'm going to try to put my butthole on the ceiling. Okay. So it looks like this. Now, when you start, this is called the hinge. And the hinge is how everything starts with my workouts. Everything starts in a hinge. So a hinge is like a door. A door is shut in the hinge, and now your hips are open. So you want to think about putting your butthole on the ceiling. So you have to go hinge back. Now, what I'm trying to do is, like, if there was a flashlight.
Is the mic picking this up?
If there was a flashlight on my ass, it would be pointing up to the ceiling. My legs are as straight as they can be. They're not locked, but they're pretty straight. And then I'm going to pull my glutes back in and squeeze. So what you want to do is think about, instead of just going down and up, this is what girls are doing right now. I see y'all. Oh yeah, this is great. It's so fun. I know y'all are. Oh yeah. I'm doing RDLs. And you're in the corner. I see what's going on. And I'll
Made for a mic.
10 reps
Made
with
for a
me.
mic.
Y'all already know this. 10 reps with me is 1,000 bad reps with someone else, because
Pull
you
that
have to go
sucker
slow.
right into you.
Get
Pull
the mic back. Get
pull
back
this-
on the
there,
mic.
There we go.
We're back on the show. We're
I'm
back.
very active in my
So
podcast.
what she's saying, you guys, is that
That didn't say it. You're
no,
like,
what you're saying is that when you're, I guess, squatting down, you want to make sure that you're shining your butt to the
Yes,
ceiling as
yes.
opposed to just
Yes.
stretching the hamstrings.
So, okay, let me go back really fast. There's something, and if this is too technical, let me know.
It's a good exercise
but y'all
to
have
practice
to learn
for the bedroom as well.
Ladies
Lauren.
who want to grow their ass,
Not this
no
state.
more with all this garbage that I see on Instagram.
Like
and
what?
Then, I don't know, the 1,000,000 hip thrust, the 400-pound hip thrusters when girls can't even get their hips.
Hey, actually,
into extension.
question. Why do I as well go to the gym
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes, I know you do. Yes.
And I see these women, they're doing the hip thrust with
Yes,
the thing.
so heavy.
Why are they so into the heavy hip thrust?
Okay, so this is great. This has to do with the quad conspiracy. Okay, so what they say to girls is, oh, you're going to have to just do hip thrusters because it isolates the glutes. So it's a good,
hip thrusters are nice,
I'm
but
also
I just
not
people
anti-hip
love-
thruster.
yeah,
I'm
okay.
to the world, I'm not anti-hip thruster. Brett Contreras, come for me. But I love hip thrusters. But what the premise is if we take your legs out of the exercise and I just solely load your glutes, that seems like a good idea. Because then I'm not growing their legs, I'm simply growing their glutes. And does that make sense?
Yes.
Absolutely. Seems like a great idea. Two things happen with that. One is when girls start to go that heavy, they're usually not going into full extension. What a hip thruster is meant to do is squeeze at the top. That's the big lift part, is the contraction. You know when you squeeze your butt at the top?
Yeah, but you're shortening your hips, right?
Well, no, I mean, most of the time I see people on Instagram that are not even have mobility to have any business. They can't even get their hips through.
Got it.
So now they're just working like a bunch of little muscles. So they never even got their hips through and to the top so they could squeeze their glutes. But they went really heavy and it looked cool on Instagram, right? So
But what do they think the hip thrusts are doing
So
for
they
them?
think that girls love the burn and hip thrusts feed the burn.
What the hell's the burn? Like when you just feel like your workout's
You know,
burning?
like when they
Yeah,
when
the burn.
like
The workout burn.
sit here for like 10 seconds and squeeze your ass as hard as you can
Squeeze it.
and like until it hurts. That's the burn,
Wow.
which is also needed, by the way. Can you feel it? Now squeeze one butt
Listen,
cheek
I can
like 10
squeeze for a long
times.
time before I feel that
Squeeze
burn.
the
Sandy.
other butt cheek like 10 times. Okay. The burn is that part where you kind of like, it's like burning, you know?
Yeah, like, okay, if you get
Yeah.
to like the end of your reps. You're
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. But so women chase the burn. We're taught that and it makes sense. If you don't understand about how to grow muscle and stuff, the burn would seem like, well, this is logical. This is growing my glutes.
You know what,
I
Lauren?
felt it.
You've been chasing the burn, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the way that I
Yeah.
train,
Wait, and don't get me wrong. The burn has a duty. It's just not the main one.
yeah, but like, it's funny because we have this debate with her all the time, about like overtraining,
Yes,
chasing the
yes.
burn probably too much.
Yes. Or chasing something.
Chasing
something.
needing to check it off the list.
Chasing a to-do list.
A to-do list.
Absolutely. and being an
Type
overachiever.
A, trying to optimize every second.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And hearing that you're supposed to be working out and being a good noodle like you are and checking and making sure you're doing that. So,
Doing the check.
but yes, but overtraining is a real thing. And I have a lot of check-ins with my clients about overtraining.
Well, because you attract, I think, a lot of type A
Yes.
people who want to optimize their life, high-performing
Yes.
people.
Yes.
I found out about you through Ivanka.
Yes. Yes.
You also
Ivanka.
train Jessica Rogan.
Yes, amazing.
Who's looking amazing on your Instagram.
Thank you.
And you train people who want to be the best.
They're both of me. I do. And I train people. By the time people have gotten to me, no matter who it is, they are ready to really figure this shit out. They don't need another random workout. They don't need another trying to figure it out with somebody else. By the time they get to me, we're doing the deal. You're about to learn basic lifting done right forever. You know what I mean?
So Emily's in the room. She wanted to sit in on this conversation. And if you were to tell Emily and everyone who's listening, that's a woman especially, 3 exercises that can really put the work into the glutes. What are those 3 exercises?
Well, the first one's not an exercise. It's a corrective.
Okay.
So I call it a corrective. That comes from the physical therapy world as well. And what that does is it's trying to correct something before you use it. So the first thing I would say is couch stretch. So Emily's going to go into couch stretch. She's going to go in a minute aside every day, no breaks until I get that hip open.
For those that don't know what that is, explain what that is.
I'll just show you.
I think that we should do a TikTok on it. And you
okay,
guys
we'll
can go to TikTok.
Yeah. And if not, just Google couch stretch. It's everywhere.
Okay.
It's not
couch.
Yeah, COUCH. And why they named it couch stretch was because you're supposed to do it so often, because you're supposed to reverse the damages of sitting, that you're supposed to be able to be, it's about the level of your couch, and they want you to do it at home.
By the way, tangent, but on this note, when I first started training with Brent, who and you've been on his show.
Yes, love Brent.
And one of the things he did with me was he's like, get into couch stretch. And it's been years. I couldn't even get back and sit up. I was so messed up from years of sitting. Now I can do it, and I do it with you and him all the time. But I don't think people realize, people should just try it at home right now and see how many people can't do it.
And the first thing you'll say to me is when they do get into couch stretch, Emily will say something, she says, I feel it in my quad. Am I supposed to stretch my quad? And trust me, when I used to do CrossFit a long time ago, they used to put us in couch stretch. These coaches were trying to make us stronger by having us access our glutes. I kept getting annoyed saying, why do they keep wanting me to stretch my quads? So I've been where y'all are. So but you got to do it every day. That's why it's important. It really is like the gateway to your glutes. So your first thing is not an exercise, it's a corrective.
We bought the machine at the house.
Yes.
Pounds cracked his head open on
Lauren bought a janky one. He cracked his head open with stitches.
I wanted it in white.
Oh God.
So,
I know I told you not to do that.
I know you did. I had to buy it in black.
That tequila shot made me red, so if I'm red.
No, you're
red.
Oh, okay.
But then we got the other one, but it's not super expensive, and we can do it every day.
No, it's I one day I'll have my own, but I love a unilateral squat stand. That's what it's called on the Google, is unilateral squat stand. And it's made, and it's about the perfect height. You can have it at your house, have it in your living room, get your kids used to doing couch stretch.
We can link it.
I mean, we sit so much, including them, on their phones all day. You have to start reversing that damage. And couch stretch is a great way to do it. So like I said, just Google that. So that would be the first thing. And then when you're in couch stretch, this is a thing that I have people do, is I start to have you squeeze your butt cheek on and off like a light.
It's harder than it sounds.
It's hard.
She has me do this all the time when I'm working out.
And so I like people to think about it like frayed wires, right? So when you start to lose connection, it's like when a wire starts to fray and the connection's losing, right? And so my best way to demonstrate that is to put your hip in extension and say squeeze, because that's really hard.
Well, to be honest, when I first started working out with you and you told me to do that, I was shocked that I had lost that connection.
I know, right?
The reason I want people to try this at home, because now that we do it so consistently, trying to correct, and now I love it and I crave it, and if I don't
you start craving it.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I was so shocked when you first had me do it that I didn't have that connection. And then it was like a real light bulb. I was like, oh shit, my body actually lost the mental connection to be able to do it.
Yes. And that's just for your glutes. I could find other muscle parts too that we can,
Well, let's just start
one day I'm going to take another muscle part.
By the way, just side note, when you get to the second one, if guys grow their glutes, it ups their testosterone.
Yes.
Which makes their penis harder.
I cannot, y'all. Okay, let's talk about.
So if you guys are looking for a harder penis,
let's talk about.
Let's grow those glutes, bitches.
And sex if you want to. And then I swear, Emily, we'll get back to the other two exercises. Okay, if guys have bigger glutes, and what is that? It means you have stronger hips. Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Pull that clip.
Yeah, now we're working with something. Now I've got
you get some
testosterone.
Get some thrust going.
I've got power.
Yeah.
I've got real power. You know what I mean? So and they're mobile. Fuck, we're done. And then let's talk about girls,
I knew she'd be good on the mic.
Now, other way, if girls get glute, like muscles on their butts that are attached to their hips and their hips can swivel, well, I'm saving marriages. And that's a true story.
Because we're going to get into that.
I'm doing the Lord's work.
Who needs a marriage therapist? You can just go train with Sandy.
That's maybe why no one wants to put me, like, talk about me. And I'm a secret. So once the power of opening your hips and getting muscle on your glutes is like literally, it is life-changing. And I'm not here, like, I love strength training. I can coach anything. I strength train. I can do everything from Olympic lifting to powerlifting. I've done it all, CrossFit in between, strength training. I think that the glutes are a great gateway to start teaching people strength training basics, and it's really important, and it helps your sex life. Okay, and I'm not kidding about that. And it's like
verified.
It's verified. And it's so much fun. I mean, just, it's like, have a good time. It's kind of fun once you get muscles on your butt. But anyway, so Emily would start with couch stretch with glute activation. So you would sit in couch stretch and you would squeeze your glute on and off. And then the second thing you would do is a hinge. I showed you the hinge. And so what happens with people, there's two things that are going on. Your hips are tight in the front, but then also you've lost the ability to push your butthole up. A lot of people are restricted and kind of squeezing their butt together, and their tailbone is sort of tucked under. We talk about that, pulling your sits bones out, making sure you're sitting on your sits bones and pulling the flesh out from underneath you. A lot of people get also stuck like this. So now we're stuck with a tight butt, tight hips, like awful. So the ability to stick your ass way back and up, it's like, now you got to practice that as well.
Okay.
So we get the front and we get the back. And then the second thing I would do is just a back squat. And I would put you on a barbell back squat. So a lot of times they'll say in the Instagram and stuff, well, squat's not the best way to grow glutes. You know, they'll say, oh, hip thrusters. And we did the test in it. We had the activators on there, and I'll tell you that. The best way and the fastest way to grow your glutes is to get underneath a barbell. And I'm a big proponent of barbell, and you know that. Why is it faster to grow your glutes under barbell? Because if you think where a barbell sits on your back, it loads directly over your glutes. Think about where the weight distribution is. Okay, that's super helpful for growing your glutes. And you're stuck in that position. So I would make you perfect your barbell back squat, and it would have to be exactly the way I want it. And then you would do couch stretch, and then you would do your hinge. And that's all we do.
Because if you did like a dumbbell front squat, you're putting it more in the glutes, right?
Well, you're doing
the quads. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the quads.
So always
I always
think
get them confused.
where the weight, you meant the quads.
Yeah.
Just always think where the weight is distributed. That is where, unless you're actively forcing against that, you're always going to load. You always want to, the way I was coached was you always want to load closest to your spine, right? So like everything's close to your spine. So a barbell back squat, a beautiful barbell back squat done correctly, the girl will have the best glutes in the world. Like a glute dominant barbell back squat, the way I teach it, is I can get her there literally months faster than if I just stick her with dumbbells and kettlebells all the time.
So let's say someone comes to you with no ass.
Okay.
What's the plan?
Same thing. What I just told her. We're going to do couch stretch.
Okay.
We're going to do hinge. We're going to do, and you're not going anywhere until you perfect that barbell back squat. Because I don't want to hear about, well, I saw this on Instagram or whatever. You have to learn the fundamentals of using your lower body before we're going to move on. That's why, you know what I mean? And you're going to learn how to hinge, and you're going to learn how to drop with your glute and not your quad. And you're going to, and that is going to be the centerpiece and the diamond of our glute training, is that barbell back squat.
What is the little hole between?
Exactly.
What's the hole?
That's what I'm saying.
There is a hole that Sandy has.
Yes.
Don't run to her Instagram, guys. Like, it's like so your butt is so Instagram. Lifted that there's like a hole.
Like underneath there's a thigh gap.
It's a thigh gap.
It's a thigh gap.
But it's like a heart.
Yeah.
Underneath your vagina.
God, this is like, I swear to God, I'm going to.
Well, I look at your butt in your leggings when you're training with me.
No, I have my butt out all the time. It's my job.
That hole, the thigh gap.
52 years old, my whole life depends on my butt. Like, I'm risking it all.
Lifting your ass?
Imagine. Well, absolutely. So girls come to me all the time and they say, how do I lose this little fat underneath my leg?
Yeah.
And I say, you raise your ass and it pulls it up.
Got it.
Like, you know what I mean? Stop trying to lose that little rim of fat and let's grow your muscle up, and it'll pull the rest of your body up. you
So
know?
when you see,
So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing I lifted. What I do with y'all and with all my thing is I want to grow your glute medius. The shelf on the top is very important to me, and we focus on it a lot, as well as the glute max, which are your two. There's 3 muscle groups in your glutes, but these are the 2 that I really focus on. And so as what you're seeing is my glute medius at the top of my butt has gotten more developed, and as it's gotten more developed, it's pulling up, and it's giving that heart illusion that you like.
So it's lifting your butt.
It's literally lifting. So now my butt sits where my hips are instead of down.
So when you see girls coming to you who are maybe on a GLP-1 or they've lost a lot of weight or all they care about is losing fat.
Yeah.
And that's all they care about is losing fat.
Yeah.
How do you coach them to help them understand that lifting your butt doesn't really have to do with losing fat?
Yeah. Well, it's a whole paradigm shift. And I think I think that it's good that strength training is in the everyone's, even you're talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. It's in the realm. What women have got to understand is if you want to grow your glutes and you want to have a feminine aesthetic, you're going to have to stop with the wanting to be so skinny. This isn't about men or if you're dating or whatever, but maybe it is. I got news for you. I have worked with men in weight rooms for 20 years. They do not want skinny. They're not looking for skinny. They like bubba va voom. They want body yaddy yaddy. Body yaddy yaddy.
Jessica Rabbit.
Has a little bit of fat, a little bit of juice, a little bit of loose. No guy in his right mind ever cares.
I don't want to speak for every man, but I do think that, you anatomically, men are looking for, they're looking for the curvature of a woman.
Yes. And the thing, and what you're trying to say is, I mean, there's naturally skinny women, right? Obviously. And like, if you have narrow hips and like this is also applicable to you, but it's a healthy thing.
So what you're saying is if someone comes to you and they're so focused on fat loss, how do you how do you help them?
Well, if they
narrative?
genuinely need fat loss, then we have that discussion. That might be a thing.
Okay.
So if they genuinely need a fat loss, like that could look like mixing strength training with, you might have to do a few other things, including like really hone in on your diet. But if they're trying, like if they're doing the OZ, if they've lost a lot of weight and they're chasing the skinny, I have got to have and they know I have big sit down talks with my clients all the time. This is not sustainable. This is not, you've got to get out of this torture. You're torturing yourself with the not eating and the calories and you've gone back into an eating disorder. I hate to say it. I've had an eating disorder. We all have. Every woman has at 15. And now you're tracking your food and you want me to make you track your food. I've had clients that want me to track and I won't do it because it puts them back in that eating disorder mode that a lot of women live in. And so what I see is a dysfunction when I see that. And I don't want it to sound mean, but when women are trying to be too thin, I see something that's dysfunctional that they're trying to work through with their child. And what I want them to do is feel good, have some body. We're not talking about being overweight. We're not talking about like having excess fat. We're talking about, don't worry about, if you can get in 0 genes and, like it's more about health and feeling good and are your hips moving and it's a paradigm shift. Are you eating 80% of the time good and 20% of the time you're fucking off and taking tequila shots? Do it. I want y'all to have fun. Life is once, and these women, I feel so worried about them that are losing all this muscle
from Ozempic.
God, y'all, and even if it's not Ozempic, whatever it is, y'all are losing muscle. You do not understand. All I do is freak out about losing muscle. Like if I'm losing my muscle, I'm freaked out.
Yep.
You're going to break. There's something that's going to break down. I've seen it happen a million times and you're going to be injured. And now guess what? You're going to be injured and you're going to gain weight injured.
Well, like
you're going to gain weight extra double time fast because you had no muscle.
If I was going to comment not on men or women, but just on muscle in general, I think when you're young, you're able to sustain muscle for long periods of time without doing much. So you're like, oh, I'm in shape.
Of course, yes.
But as soon as you get like 30, 35, 40, it starts drastically dropping off, especially if you don't take care of it. And then what happens is you get that look where it's like that deflated kind of skin look.
Yeah.
Men and women.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because they don't have the muscle. And then the difficulty is it's hard to build the muscle once you're beyond your youthful years. And so then you have this uphill so like what I tell everybody is like the earlier you can train and the earlier you can pack on muscle and the longer you can sustain it by consistently training, one, you're going to age better. Two, you're not going to have such an uphill battle. And three, you're going to not have that kind of like saggy skin look.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, muscle is filler.
Men and women.
Muscle is filler. If women are getting, or people get filler in their face or whatever, muscle fills out your skin. It makes you look good. It structurally makes you look really good.
It's tricky though, because I have two younger sisters and then like,
it's very tricky.
And when you're young, you're like, oh, like, this is just, I'm like naturally this way.
Yes,
You don't realize that like the cliff kind of comes.
Yes. And sometimes the people that do the best, including myself, are the ones that didn't have a perfect body and had to work out. So we had to figure it out young. I do feel bad for the people who had it really good genetically most of their life. And then they hit 30 and they're like, oh shit. And they never learned how to work out. That's scary too.
All right, everybody, listen up. Big news. Branch Basics, one of our all-time favorite cleaning brands, is now available at over 600 Target stores nationwide and Target.com. This is huge news. Ever since Lauren and I interviewed the founder of Branch Basics, Allison, on this podcast, we cannot look back when it comes to our household cleaning supplies. So many of the household cleaning supplies we were using before have so many hormone disruptors, artificial ingredients, chemicals, things that families should not be breathing, should not be smelling, should not have in the house at all. Since we moved to Branch Basics, we no longer have to worry about these toxic ingredients in our cleaning supplies, and we still get the same result, which is a super clean and sparkly house. Our kids can crawl around on the floor, our dogs don't have any allergies or problems, and most importantly, I am feeling great because I do not have all of these harmful hormone-disrupting chemicals in my cleaning supplies. Like I said, from everything from countertops to bathrooms, even tough stains, Branch Basics all-purpose cleaner, bathroom cleaner, and their new stain remover tackle it all. Plus, they're gentle on sensitive skin and safe for babies and pets. To me, it's an absolute no-brainer. You have a product that can do the same thing, which is clean the house cost effectively without all the harmful ingredients. So if you're tired of toxic chemicals lingering in your home, it's time to make the switch. You can grab Branch Basics products now at Target. Find their concentrate, all-purpose cleaner, bathroom cleaner, and stain remover right on the shelves. Trust me, your home and your health will thank you. So shop at Branch Basics in 600 plus Target stores nationwide or Target.com. You can also use my code SKINNY15 to get 15% off at www.branchbasics.com/skinny15. Again, SKINNY15 for 15% off at branchbasics.com/skinny15.
We're all about skincare, self-care, and mindset shifts. But what about our libido? Yep, we're going there. Because here's the deal. Millions of women struggle with low sex drive. And if you've been struggling to get in the mood, you are not alone. But guess what, ladies? There's an option for you. It's a little pink pill called Addyi. The first and only FDA-approved pill to treat frustrating low libido in certain premenopausal women. Addyi is clinically proven to increase sexual desire, decrease stress from low libido, and help you actually enjoy sex more often. So, if you're ready to prioritize this part of your health this year and reconnect with your desire, talk to your doctor or head to Addyi.com. That's ADDYI.com, because you deserve to take back your sex drive.
Addyi, or flibanserin, is for premenopausal women with acquired generalized hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, who have not had problems with low sexual desire in the past, who have had low sexual desire no matter the type of sexual activity, the situation, or the sexual partner. This low sexual desire is troubling to them and is not due to a medical or mental health problem, problems in the relationship, or medicine or other drug use. Addyi is not for use in children, men, or to enhance sexual performance. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is increased if you drink 1 to 2 standard alcoholic drinks close in time to your Addyi dose. Wait at least 2 hours after drinking before taking Addyi at bedtime. This risk increases if you take certain prescriptions, OTC or herbal medications, or have liver problems, and can happen when you take Addyi without alcohol or other medicines. Do not take if you are allergic to any of Addyi's ingredients. Allergic reaction may include hives, itching, or trouble breathing. Sometimes serious sleepiness can occur. Common side effects include dizziness, nausea, tiredness, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, and dry mouth. See full PI and medication guide, including boxed warning, at Addyi.com/PI. Addyi.
That's ADDYI.com.
Quick break to talk about Symbiotica. Where do I even start these days with Symbiotica? They have so many incredible products. We have had the founders of Symbiotica on this show so many times because they have such a strong lineup of supplements that we use on the regular. Whether it's their best-in-class magnesium, their vitamin C, their vitamin D concentrate, or their vitamin B supplements, they have it all. I think they make one of the best liposomal glutathione on the market. And what I love about Symbiotica supplements is they're liposomal, which means you actually eat them, which is going to absorb into your body much more efficiently than most supplements and pills. With summer being here, it's even more important to stay healthy, to stay strong, to make sure that we're feeling good, looking good, all of the things. If I were going to recommend my 3 summer staples, I would definitely check out their new Shilajit product. It just came out. It's incredible. I would also definitely jump into their vitamin B. They make one of the most complex methylated B formulas on the market. And of course, their vitamin D3 supplement, which has K2 as well. Those 3 are going to set you off on the right path. Also, like I mentioned earlier, their glutathione, which is a master antioxidant, is one of the best on the market. And like I said, they're all liposomal, so you can actually eat these. You can take them in these individualized packets that are great for travel, great at home, great for on the go, anytime you need them. And what I love is taking Symbiotica supplements is one of the easiest ways I found to stay consistent with my health goals, even during a busy summer. So check them out. Go to symbiotica.com/TSC today to get 20% off plus free shipping. That's CYMBIOTIKA.com/TSC to get 20% off plus free shipping.
I like the way that you have helped me also eat. It's really, really easy.
Yes.
And
yes.
I want to tell the audience that your method is just simple. So tell
simple.
everyone your method.
Okay, so my method is the same method as Weight Watchers used to use years ago. It's the same method that bodybuilders use to stay lean and gain muscle. It's the method that I have used for literally like 30 years now. And it is 5 meals a day, trying to get like 20 to 25 grams of protein or whatever your protein number is, because you should get 1 gram of protein per body weight. So if I weigh 150, I have to get 150 grams of protein a day, and I break those protein up into 5 meals. And what does that do? Like, I know there's all this science. There's always a new study, this study and that study and that study. Let me tell you something. This is the Sandy study. Like, we're on the Sandy. The Sandy study says that you should be consistently loading your protein in small amounts during the day over time. Dumping a bunch of food in your gut, like at 1 meal a day, you know what I mean, is not great for your body. You know, your body has to do a lot of work. The reason that protein's so important is because your body hates to break down protein. It's a pain in its ass. You know what I mean? Just like to turn your glutes on in your back. It's a pain in the ass. So your body literally has to work through the protein. That's why it's also so good, and it slows down your blood sugar. And
which is a lot like Ozempic.
Yeah. Eating 5 small meals a day with 20-25 grams of protein is Ozempic. It's the same.
So can you talk
My
us
blood sugar
through
is
one
stable.
day of your eating?
Yes, one day of my eating. But Michael, really fast, for males, there are some studies that I have seen that I do kind of agree with, and it goes back to cavemen and biology, that men can eat 1 or 2 meals a day and have more protein loads.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother thing.
I personally,
you personally
believe that most women that do intermittent fasting are harming themselves long term.
Well,
that's a very controversial thing because I'm not a woman, but I
don't believe in intermittent fasting.
I think it's for some women that are hyperactive and have a ton of muscle and are able to digest that way, like maybe. But I think the majority of women, if aggressive intermittent fasting can do a lot of harm. For men, I think very different. I think so. I think men can wait longer and then have a huge meal.
I agree.
But
100%. I think that women are so hormones are such an important deal. I mean, in men too, but in women. And if you start to fast and fuck with that hormones, that's what it does. It messes with your cortisol, and your body thinks you're in a fast. And it's also another way to control your food. I don't want people controlling their food, because guess what happens when they control their food? They get another eating disorder. And if they focus too much on their food and they don't just let it be normal, and they fast and they unfast, then over time it's not sustainable. You know what I'm saying? But for me, but I work. So remember, I have to be on my feet and I cannot have food. The disclaimer is I would rather y'all eat food than do what I'm doing. But you can translate it into food. Okay, so like I said, I weigh 150 pounds. The first thing I do on my way to work in the morning is I have 4 hard-boiled eggs in my car from a bag that I buy at H-E-B. They're gross and they're slimy and they're disgusting. And I eat a banana because I love a banana.
Okay.
And I think the banana is great. Don't give up on fruit too. Like a lot of people give up. It has all these great minerals and vitamins and wonderful things for your body that the sugar. Only real fruit can like absorb right. You know what I mean?
Also, it gives you a nice little energy before
100%.
workout.
Yeah, but I have so many women that come to me like, Sandy, you'll be so proud I didn't eat my banana. I'm like, no, I wanted you to eat your banana. So then I'll have four eggs and a banana, and then I'll get to work and I'll have something dumb in the next 3 hours, like a shake that's like 30 grams of protein. I wish it was real food, but it has to be a shake. And then I'll go get a snap meal because at my work they have snap meals. And so something with at least 25 grams of protein. So there I've had at least 75, 80 grams of protein. And then I'll go home. And then I'll usually have 2 Greek yogurts, which is about 20 grams of protein. And sometimes I'll put some nuts in there. And then I'll have dinner, I'll make sure I'll make it up. I'll make it up at dinner on my protein if I have to.
And what's dinner normally?
It's just either something boring like chicken, vegetables. It's steak and vegetables. It's carbs are fine. Just like don't eat like an asshole. You know, that's what I always tell people.
But you have your tequila.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you told me the best Mexican restaurant in Austin.
Dessert.
You love your Mexican restaurant.
Yes. Oh, 2 Mexican margaritas and Mexican food every Friday night, please. Where are we going? Let's go.
So
that's my goal. I want to live life.
Okay.
I'm a coach. I'm a strength coach. I think what gets twisted with me is like people think they're going to come to me and I'm going to be really hard on them. They want that in some way. Adults want that. They want you to be like, and what I say is, whoa. Just like we're going to chill out with your back squat that sucks. And we're going to fix that before we do a bunch of other fun stuff. You're going to chill out on whatever you're so driven on, either with the food or the over-exercising or whatever, because now it's a lifestyle.
You said 10 reps with me is worth more than I'm going to say this again.
Yeah.
You said 10 reps with me is worth more than 1,000 reps with someone who doesn't understand how to grow muscle.
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
Well, because, and y'all know, unless we're acting a fool, but you got to go slow when you're with me. So you got to go slow to grow. That's what I say.
So slow.
You got to go, and you don't like y'all. I even need y'all to go slower, but sometimes I get both of y'all and I'm like, what's going on? But so what do a long time ago bodybuilding coaches, because remember, bodybuilders are the people that go on the show or go on the stage. They know how to build muscle. They have to go show it off on a show and their backs. So what they, like one of their techniques is like painfully slow, like 1,000. You're doing a hinge, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, hold, pull. It's
Slow.
hell. It's hell. And now I'm making you use your muscle in each rep. So instead of just turning the lights off and, oh, she said to do 10 reps, like to go slow is so painful.
How come, and I've heard this off air, how come lifting your butt and strengthening your glute muscle tightens the vaginal wall?
Oh, well, I'm not a gynecologist, but I play one at work every day. And a PT and so many things. But I mean, let's just think about it logically. Like, remember I told you, like, your body takes the position it's always in? Like, every time you squat, things are opening and closing. Things are strengthening. You know what I mean? Things are tightening up. Things are tendons and ligaments and organ systems. Everything's getting like tight, right? Because that you're getting your muscle on. It's not just flabby. So I'm not sure what I can only imagine that the mechanism is that it's like a muscle. Your pelvic wall is like a muscle. And the squatting is opening and closing and strengthening that muscle.
Well, I mean, like tight bodies come from the skin being tight against the muscle. And that would assume that would relate to anything.
We didn't ask you. Literally just bow out of this
I like
question.
But listen, if you see a flaccid dick, it doesn't look great. When it gets hard and the muscle's there, then it looks, it's different. That's because it's against the skin with the muscle.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like, it's not that hard.
You want the skin.
It's not that hard to figure out,
Skin's a whole nother issue because like once skin goes though, I tell people that's go get surgery because skin is hard to recover.
What do you mean?
You know? Well, like if a girl thinks like she has a fat stomach or whatever and she comes to me and it's skin and it's not fat and it's just like hanging or whatever.
Skin is hard to fix.
You got to go get that taken off. Like you're never going to recuperate that.
How many days a week does someone have to actually work out for how long to get the butt that we're all looking for?
This will be good information for you, Lauren.
Okay.
Why?
Because
they think I overtrain.
You overdo it. Lauren overdoes
yeah. The whole nother thing.
But
I think,
different podcast.
yeah. So it's a really good question, because if you're doing it right, like I want you to do it in the way that I mandate through my glute method and my training, is you only need 4 hours a week. That's it. I can do everything in 4 hours a week, and no jokes. I do not have imposter syndrome. I already told y'all. And then if y'all want to do the 5th day, that's the day you go do whatever fun thing, dance, or you go, to walk, or like whatever you want to do.
Our pole class.
Yeah, our pole class, like exactly. And then you rest 2 days. Oh, I know, that's so hard. But the rest, what people don't understand is that there was a time, and I told y'all this, in the old days where we would work a muscle, it totally would recover, and then we would work it again, like once every 4 days. Like that's how muscles actually start to build, as you let them recover, and then, but not like a little bit, like a lot. So 4 hours a week is what I think. Now, if you're a newbie to fitness and what you're going to do on those 4 days are just basic compound lifts. It's going to be a back squat. It's going to be a deadlift. It's going to be a barbell hip thruster. Yes. A hinge. It's going to be all the same things over and over and over. And it's so boring, but that's how you're going to get in shape, is by not changing up the exercises like every time. Now, if you're a newbie, I would maybe, the problem is with newbie people is that you need to go almost 5 days a week to get the form. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like you always wonder, you ever wonder why I give y'all the number 10 every time for reps?
So the earlier you are, the more you want to go at first.
Well, at first, if you're with the right person that's making you glute dominant, but you want to get the conditioning in a little bit. So you're going to have to get a little, if you're deconditioned, you know what I mean? I want you doing a lot of like perfecting the back squat, perfecting the hinge.
And any cardio
and a little
with this?
bit of, the 5th day would be the cardio.
Okay.
Like I was saying, the 4 days would be strength training, and then the 5th day would be the cardio. But a lot of times if you come to me deconditioned, that could be cardiovascularly, that could be the limiting factor for growing your glutes.
But we've said before, like people overdo the cardio.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like, way too much cardio.
Well, I've always said I looked the best in my life when I only strength trained, did no cardio.
I mean, like we barely do any cardio.
No, we do some.
We do, no, but we do honestly, like what it is like zone 2 walks.
Yeah.
And then like maybe once a week you're doing like heavy sprints and that's it. But like other than that, you're just doing weight training.
If you think about it, if you do strength training right, think about what your body has to do. It has to heal muscle. That is so hard. Do you know how much metabolism that takes? It takes a lot of metabolism to heal your muscle. Your body is fighting for its life. It's sending white blood cells like you're sick to your muscles to heal them. If you do strength training right, your body has to mend itself constantly.
The runners out there always get mad, and I have friends that are super into running, but like, again, if you go back to the way we evolved, if you were running for a long, long period of time, it's like because you're in fight or flight and something is chasing you, or you need to get away from something.
Yes.
We're not really designed as human beings to run for long, long, long periods of time. It wasn't really necessary.
I had a doctor tell me a long time, and I did do a stint of running. I did 3 marathons in a year one time because I'm also insane. But when I was younger, I just wanted to give it a shot, And he said, listen, don't do excessive running unless you have to do excessive running. There's no reason. It hurts your body, And I know it's like big controversial, but it will over time. What I see with runners consistently is injury after injury after injury. And I see them losing their body mass. Also, if you're trying to keep your skin nice, like I always say that, work out inside a gym where there's no UV light, instead of being outside doing triathlons and where the wind, like you're blowing your wind and the sun. Well,
that's what I started to notice. That's where I'm coming from, a perspective of skin.
Yes.
And I started to notice if you're running and slamming your body on the pavement, it sags your knees, your legs, your face, your underarms, your tits.
Yes.
But I guess what I'm saying is like I've predominantly strength trained since I've been in Austin for like 4 years.
Yes.
And my resting heart rate when I sleep through the the stupid monitors. Yes. Sleep in the,
and you love those monitors. I hate them.
But my resting heart rate is like 47 beats per minute when I'm sleeping. Then like That's a good resting heart rate.
That's amazing.
And I do almost no cardio.
That's perfect.
And I'm not talking about like from a aesthetic perspective. I'm just talking about like my heart.
And a lot of that is because you just carry a lot of lean muscle mass and not a lot of fat.
Oh,
when you're getting enough, but you're getting enough. I think you're getting the cardio in those explosive movements in the gym when you're doing strength training.
Again, done correctly, you do not need to do more than 4 hours you can do 4 hours strength training and be in great shape.
My husband, I have to give him a compliment on the way he's handled muscle. He has done muscle so well because he started so early.
Yes.
That I've always seen him be able to eat whatever he wants and never have to worry about it.
That's exactly right. Well, you want to be a metabolic machine.
Yes.
Your more muscle you have, the less you have to worry about. Well, I can't eat this at dinner. I can't have this bread. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Your muscles will take care of it for you.
Well, I think like the big thing that I try to get across, I mean, especially now doing this show, because a lot of women are now getting interested, to your point earlier, of like around strength training and weightlifting. Thank
God. I've only been preaching it for 30 years, but go ahead.
And again, because like I have a wife and I have a daughter and I have sisters and I have people that are women that I care about. I'm like, there was like this light bulb moment that happened when she started strength training.
Yes.
That I was almost like, as a man, like, why did I not actually tell you like this is
thanks.
Yes.
Like my whole life, like in order to stay in shape and have muscle and like stay trim and all these things, like it's mostly just been like consistent strength training.
Yes.
He goes, oh my God, I should have told you about this.
I know.
I was like,
but
this
protein
illustrates my point so much. And I'm not downing men coaches. Don't start with me. But y'all don't look at us sometimes as y'all look at us as something different.
That's 100% what I was doing.
Exactly. And so that's how a lot of women get treated. Mm-hmm. You're kind of over here. It's cute that you're doing something strength training. That's cute. You know what I mean? Like, but we don't really, a lot of males are like that, but I never thought of you like me.
I just think it's not a way that like, you know, okay, when you're growing up, you at the time that it was, I'm a product of the late 80s and 90s.
No,
you didn't
men
really see
do
a
more
lot
sports.
You didn't really see a lot of women in the gym with you.
Absolutely,
right? And then
I know.
There was a few, and then there was everybody was worried about bulking up, which is, you know, was very few.
So sad.
But I will say, Sandy, I have seen you deadlift, and I was telling Lauren, I'm like, Sandy's strong as shit.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you're stronger than a lot of guys I know.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I only go strong when I have to, and I don't do it for the gram because people always ask me to go heavy. And I say, I don't ego lift. If I need to go heavy, I'll go heavy exactly when and where I need to go heavy. Other than that, I don't need to demonstrate it for everyone on the gram. But thank you for saying that. But one of the reasons I'm
doesn't want to embarrass the guys.
Yeah.
No. But you're illustrating my point so great that, okay, they always say women aren't little men, so don't train them like little men. Okay, well, when I say that, I mean, like, don't grow their quads in their traps and, like, don't give them the bodies they want, right? But what I also want is men are raised in, y'all are usually doing sports, you're around other guys, you're in the strength training realm. Most women it's totally foreign to them to walk into a
like I had
gym.
Strength training PE as a kid, and you would go to the weight room.
I know, that's amazing. Women never have that.
Not one woman.
I want women to be able to walk into a gym and approach to be honest with you, before I die, and I don't know why, but I want women to be able to walk into a gym, walk up to a barbell platform, feel totally comfortable there, load a barbell, and have better form than any dude in that gym. That's what I want. You know what I mean? And I want them to stop going to the cardio machines and start going to the barbell platforms. But it takes so much. It's very scary to do that. Like for women, you know, they've never done it. So if you learn it properly, like y'all are learning it, or like if women will go and spend the money to learn strength training properly, it will change your life, like you said.
It's an amazing goal.
Thank you.
No, but to your point, like I think a lot of it was weird when she started working out with me because I was like, oh, like I would go to the gym all the time and do all these things, but I never once thought like, oh, Lauren I would say, oh, you're going to like Pilates or whatever.
Yeah, you just thought it was like a girl thing.
But then funny enough, I started going to Pilates with her. I'm like, oh, I should probably do this as a guy once in a while too.
Absolutely, yeah. And males need to be doing more of sometimes the cardio and the mobility, like stuff like that, Pilates. And then women need to be in the gyms. It's exactly.
It's probably not a good thing as a man that I can't like bend over and touch my toes.
No, it's not.
And
then what happens is y'all get all bound down.
Yeah.
So you see these 50-year-old dudes and they're all like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, I don't know, what's up? Like, you know, like you need to stretch.
I find this fascinating. Faye Nutrition, it connects you direct with registered dietitians. These are real food and nutrition experts, and they literally build you a personalized nutrition counseling situation tailored specifically to you. And here is the best part of this, which is like amazing. Faye takes insurance. So 95% of people pay $0 for their session. I also just like working, if I'm going to work with a nutritionist, out of the comfort of my home. Dietitians on Faye specialize in over 30 areas, including weight loss, sports nutrition, women's health like PCOS, postpartum, gut health, eating disorders, and more. They have helped, and I just found this out, over 100,000 people to improve their lives through improved nutrition and lifestyle. If you feel like you want an expert nutritionist counseling session, then this is available. It's simple, it's easy to find a dietitian who fits your needs, and they instantly check your insurance coverage before signing up. Having a personalized nutritionist used to cost big bucks, but not anymore with Faye. Listeners of the Him and Her Show can qualify to see a registered dietitian for as little as $0 by visiting faynutrition.com/skinny. That's faynutrition.com/skinny. One last time, that's faynutrition.com/skinny. And make sure you use the URL so you know we sent you. Boulevard. It's the #1 client experience platform built specifically for appointment-based self-care businesses. Because salons, spas, barbershops, and med spas are so personal, and the platform powering your business should feel the same. This is not just a software either. It's a smarter, more personal, and organized way to manage all of your business's locations in one place. So if you're running a salon or a med spa or a personal care company, you need to have your business, especially the back end, all buttoned up. If your day-to-day is filled with scheduling headaches, missed appointments, and systems that add stress to your day, it feels impossible to get stuff done. It feels like you're working in your business and not on it. So they've really solved this pain point, whether it's online bookings, payments, appointment reminders, client profiles. They really make everything seamless, which makes your business look more polished and professional. No more no-shows, scheduling headaches, or chaos behind the counter, just smoother operations and happier clients. This is a great way to elevate your marketing, and I feel like it helps you manage memberships. It really takes your business as far as you want to go. Right now, Boulevard is offering new customers 10% off your first subscription when you go to join blvd.com/skinny and book a demo. That's joinblvd.com/skinny. Book a demo and get 10% off your first year subscription. Join blvd.com/skinny.
Quick break to talk about Cozy Earth. If there's one thing that I am crazy about, it is my sleep. We've had so many experts on this podcast talk about the importance of quality sleep. We all know this now. We all know it's the cornerstone of good health, good hormones, everything good, which is why I'm so excited to talk about Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth offers bamboo sheets. This is what Lauren and I use. This is going to be great material. And what's the best about them is they are going to regulate your temperature, giving you a comfortable night's sleep. It's going to enhance your sleep quality with cooler temperatures facilitated in the body's natural drop in core temperature at night, promoting the release of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep, which is going to lead us to faster sleep onset and improve sleep quality. Sleeping in cooler conditions has so many benefits. Outside of letting you fall asleep faster, it's also going to help boost serotonin levels, contributing to improved mood and reduce symptoms of depression. I used to suffer from night sweats. I can't stand sleeping in a hot environment. And for those that's experienced these as well, this is going to reduce the risk of night sweats, which is also going to help promote uninterrupted sleep. What I do every single night is I track my sleep with a tracker, and I can tell how much REM sleep I'm getting, how much deep sleep I'm getting. And every time I'm sleeping in a cooler environment, I get better sleep. Cozy Earth's bamboo sheets can help you do that. So check them out. There's nothing worse than tossing and turning in a hot bed with hot sheets all night long. Check out Cozy Earth sheets. They have a 100-night sleep trial. You can try them during the hottest nights of the year. If you're not in love, return them hassle-free. But trust me, after you try them, you won't want to. Of course, we have an offer for our listeners and viewers. Upgrade your summer. Go to Cozy Earth and use code SKINNY for 40% off best-selling temperature-regulating sheets, apparel, and more. Trust me, you'll feel the difference the very first night. Again, that's CozyEarth.com and use code SKINNY. Sleep cooler, lounge lighter, stay cozy.
How is my skin? You know what? This sunscreen, it's caffeinated, it's mineral, and it does not pile under makeup. I applied it today with a damp beauty blender before I got my glam done, and it lays so nicely under like a foundation or a concealer. But here's the thing that I like the most about it. So when I'm off work and when I don't have to do podcasts or Instagrams or content, or I just can just be comfortable, I can wear this caffeinated sunscreen and I still get a really nice tint and a protection. And it looks like my skin is all one even tone, which is nice without all the makeup. It's not like a foundation. It's like the caffeine tightens your skin. It gives you a nice even tone and it just gives you a little bit of color. So what I like about this sunscreen is the versatility. So you can wear it when you're off and you're running around and you're running errands and wear it with nothing over it. Or you can wear it like I'm wearing today right now with foundation and concealer over it. So it works both ways. I will wear this when I'm going to the gym in the morning and just wear it throughout the day with nothing else, or I will wear it with a full look. I created this sunscreen because I couldn't find a mineral-based sunscreen with caffeine in it. Caffeine tightens the skin, it shrinks the pores, and I just like how it lays on the skin. And I mixed it with a mineral sunscreen, and then we made it SPF 40. So it's a real treat. I think that you guys will absolutely love it. It just comes out in a pump, fits in your handbag, and it can go through the airport. You can shop this at shopskinnyconfidential.com, and it's the caffeinated SPF. Also, if you're like me and you go through sunscreen quickly, you can subscribe, and the sunscreen will get delivered straight to your door, so you don't have to worry about it. That's shopskinnyconfidential.com. Before we get into your ebook, which is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Built, not bought. We'll get into that.
Oh, yes.
We're going to do rapid fire questions. Non-negotiables.
Okay, go ahead.
What's the most important? Protein, sleep, hydration, or weightlifting?
Sleep.
Okay. If someone has 15 minutes a day, what should they do to their glutes? I'm assuming the ebook will cover that.
It will. They should do my correctives, which include couch stretch and glute activations and basic air squats and basic lunges.
All of those are free on the internet if anyone wants to go look.
Yeah.
What's one simple test someone can do at home to access their glute function?
Couch stretch on their couch.
Okay.
And squeeze your glute at the same time.
What's one thing you wish every woman knew in her 30s about her body?
That you've got to stop striving for skinny and start striving for body.
Squats or hip thrusts? We know that.
Squats.
What's one?
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
What's one gym faux pas that drives you crazy? And you know what mine is.
Oh, God, yes. Wait, what is yours? I forgot. Wait,
mine is rage rap music at 7 a.m.
Yes. Oh, God, yes. The
Yeah,
worst.
but Lauren, you go the other direction too, where you put like Spanish guitar, and I'm like lifting the heaviest I've
Nice
ever lifted.
alchemy.
No, train like I know you just get so used to it in gyms. Biggest faux pas I have for gym is
what do the other trainers do? Call it out.
Oh, the other trainers do when they're not fun.
Oh,
I hate it when they're not fun.
when they're too serious.
We're in the gym. We're just fucking working out. Everybody be fun. I don't get it. I don't get when everybody's so serious. We're serious when somebody's got weight on their back. And shout out for trainers because they do really hard jobs. We load people up with weights all the time. It's a dangerous job.
And your therapist.
And we're therapists. And we're,
And your energy finessers.
We're all of those things. And it's such a wild, wild world in the fitness personal trainer. But if you get a good personal trainer, they're doing a lot. You know what I mean? But I love it when they're fun. Gyms with fun people are my favorite.
What's your favorite protein packed snack?
Hard-boiled eggs.
What is the movement that you do with me, Ivanka, and Jessica that anyone can do at home?
That anyone can do at home. Air squats.
We all three do air squats.
Oh, absolutely. At the beginning of each of your workouts.
Who's your glute idol, J-Lo or Kim K? Or neither?
I do like J-Lo.
Okay.
J-Lo's done it, yeah. And again, J-Lo keeps her hips on a swivel.
What's your thoughts on BBL?
Okay, so when I named the book Built Not Bought, I definitely, if you choose to have a BBL, this is politically correct. I don't, but honestly, I feel that way. Like, just be careful. But I think that they don't, they haven't, do you remember the honest answer?
Yeah.
They haven't perfected it yet.
Okay.
It doesn't even look good.
This is from the Butt Whisperer.
This is from that's why, trust me, I'm not that great. Like, if there was an easy way to do something, I might have just done it. You know what I mean? But I think the boob job they've perfected. Yes. The BBL they have not perfected. You know what I'm saying? And so it's also not, it's a very dangerous surgery. It also, if you think about it, it's over time it will sag. So especially if you get the fat, it will sag, you know what I mean? And you got to try to build the muscle. I'm not sure what happens to the muscle around a BBL. That's what scares me. I don't know if they're shifted in the front, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I don't know how they're going to grow underneath all that. So that's what scares me.
A last and final question. What's the worst fitness advice you've ever heard?
Oh my God. Heavy hip thrusters, no matter what.
Sandy Brockman,
Yes.
tell us where to get your ebook, Built Not Bought.
Okay.
The real way to grow and keep your glutes for life.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for asking. I do have an app. So I have on my Instagram, there's an app and it has my 6-week glute guide, or it's the one I did for women's health, but with some of my new correctives in it. So I did a 6-week glute guide a long time ago for women's health, or a few months ago. And anyway, this has all my correctives, 6-week. It comes with the ebook. And it's, you can go to my Instagram and find all that, or you can buy the ebook on Shopify, Built Not Bought, now.
And what's your Instagram? People are going to want to say hi.
It's at Sandy Brockman Fitness. And if you try to Google at Sandy Brockman, you'll never find me because someone slashed my account years ago, and I'm just waiting for my nudes to be exposed like the rest of us.
Nudes.
Just kidding.
I have nudes.
I'm just saying for my nudes to go
do?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
talking
nudes
about?
of me in your safe.
Oh, that's true. I do.
I made
Maybe
a
whole
book.
Maybe a whole book.
Oh my God.
For my wedding.
Uh-huh.
Carson doesn't know this because I've never
I
exposed
would
it.
hope he doesn't know this. I would really hope
For
so.
my wedding, I made Michael
She's like, Carson, you have
for your
your copy of
butt
this too.
naked book
Yeah,
of
forgot about
all
that.
these
What?
spread-
I bet they were hot.
Yeah, they
Oh
were
my
hot.
God.
They were hot.
Yeah.
You forgot about that.
I wonder where it is when we did that move.
No, yeah, right.
Oh shit.
I'm
Oh
actually
God.
now I'm starting to think
I
about
will
it.
post it as my Instagram.
Now
default.
you're
Who cares?
now you're just waiting for your nudes to be exposed too.
I'm gonna expose my own nudes
Yeah,
because
let's do it.
I could use a little vote of confidence.
Right,
as
like
pregnant.
after-
Maybe for this Christmas I'll make you a book.
He
of-
forgot about it. Are you gonna go beat your meat to my
Dude,
nudes
you better
tonight?
go find it.
Yeah.
I better.
Oh my God.
It's probably,
yeah.
it's probably worth a lot on the market.
I
now.
know
Maybe
exactly.
Her stock's going
No,
up
but
soon.
OnlyFans, here I come.
I mean, listen, when you're doing your butt, you start taking more pictures of your butt. I mean,
well,
that's
maybe
also a bonus.
when I'm not pregnant anymore and I'm
Yes.
in my shape that I want to be in,
yes.
in a year, I will do a new book.
Oh.
And you will see this lifted Sandy Brockman ass with the
Yes.
heart shape underneath the vagina.
Well, something to look forward to.
I mean, again,
will
doing the
always-
Lord's work.
Keep my husband guessing.
I know. I love that about you.
never know.
Yes. Yes.
You guys go follow
Yeah.
at Sandy Brockman Fitness.
Thank you.
You're welcome to come back, by the way.
Okay.
I feel like Michael is looking for a co-host for
Yeah.
while I'm gone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, it's gonna be the him and her show,
She-
but I'm
he-
just gonna
she
have a
should
new.
come on
I'm
for
gonna have a
one.
new her.
If you want me to come,
Yeah, like a few
I'll
times.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll talk to you
she's
more.
great.
we would have fun. Thank you for
Sandy,
that.
you're amazing. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
y'all.
you, Sandy.